In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to apply some different collage techniques to your project. So the project that we're going to be working off of is one that I used for the oil pastel tutorial, so please excuse this area here. So we want to start out by gathering some materials. So you don't have to get the materials for your whole project, but just kind of think about maybe a color that you'd like to use first. I usually like to, when I'm doing any type of art, choose a color and just kind of spread it around the piece first to make sure it's balanced. Then I choose another color and another. That way I don't have one area that's just all green, all red. You know, it just kind of helps to unify it a little bit. So I have a few different values of greens here. Okay, I have a shade, I have a tint, I have sort of a medium tint, and then I have my regular hue. So that's good for me right now. And then I want to get some scissors, and you can get regular scissors or you can even get some kind of interesting edge scissors. It's really nice sometimes to vary some of your edges. It just creates another kind of sense of depth to it. So I know that we already started by kind of sketching out our project, so yours would look sort of like this, but not with Sharpie, it would be with pencil. And then you can just start to think about how you can fit your shapes in there. Now, you don't have to be completely married to these shapes either. You can start out and kind of measure it on there and say, okay, I am going to start with this kind of parallelogram shape. And you can go in, cut that shape, measure the size that you have. Okay, and if it's not perfect, that's okay. You can always cover it with another. And keep in mind, your lines will be penciled, so if something's sticking out later, you can always erase it. You can cover it with another shape. Okay, so you can start out with this. Now what I like to do, and what I recommend doing, is instead of jumping right in and gluing everything down, I usually tell students to make their shapes and arrange them before they start cutting. Before they start gluing, excuse me. So I'm going to make some different stripes here. And I'm going to kind of arrange them how I want. Now, if for some reason, toward the end of the period, you run out of time, what you can do is I will give you a Ziploc, you'll put your name on it in Sharpie, you're going to store all of your collage pieces in there. So I kind of like how this is arranged. So what I'm going to do, so that I don't have these edges kind of hanging off, I'm going to glue that down as a solid piece. And then I'll glue the big green piece down. Now when you do that, so you know how you wanted it, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. You really do not need a lot of glue. In fact, when you put too much glue, it makes the craftsmanship like kind of sloppy. So glue these down in here. Now, like I said before, you can choose to use straight edges or deckled edges or zigzag edges, and that just adds a different effect to it. It adds basically a different type of element of line. So that's nice to kind of add occasionally too. Don't just do everything with straight edges. Okay, so you can kind of have that. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually trim this so that edge is nice and even. And now I'm going to glue that down. And I really just need a couple little dots around the edges. The edges are probably the most important. Just make sure that it's nice and even. Then from there, maybe I want to put some green, down toward the bottom, up here. Then I want to move on to another color. So remember, at the end, when it's time to clean up, the glue bottle always has to be closed like this so that white dot comes out. Please do that. And then any pieces that you have that you'd like to save for the following week, don't put big, huge, full sheets in there, but if you have small pieces, Get a Ziploc in the Fiber Arts Center, put your name on it in Sharpie, and we can just paper clip the Ziploc bag right to your artwork. And this would go on the drying rack because it has wet glue. So you are all ready to start your collage.